June 13th, 1944, near Villers-Bocage, Normandy, France. The morning mist still clung to the hedgerows. Dew covered the wheat fields, and the scent of damp earth hung in the cool air as engines rumbled somewhere beyond the trees. Birds scattered from a stone wall when the first armored vehicles appeared on the narrow Norman road. Inside a German Panther tank concealed beneath camouflage netting, Oberfeldwebel Karl Fischer pressed his binoculars against his eyes. "There they are," he muttered. The column stretched farther than he expected. Shermans, American Shermans, one after another. The lead vehicles moved cautiously between the hedges, their tracks grinding against broken stone and mud. Infantry rode on the rear decks. Dust drifted into the morning air behind them. Carl lowered his binoculars and smirked. Americans. The gunner beside him chuckled. "They keep sending those things?" Nobody in the crew sounded worried. Why would they be? The Panther's long 75mm gun could destroy a Sherman from distances where the American tank often struggled to penetrate German armor. Against Tigers and Panthers, Sherman crews frequently found themselves at a disadvantage in direct combat. The German crews knew it. Everyone knew it. Months of fighting on the Eastern Front had convinced many German tankers that superior armor and firepower would always prevail. The Americans, they believed, simply built weak tanks in enormous numbers, and numbers alone could not win a tank battle. At least that was the theory. Carl watched as another Sherman emerged from behind a hedgerow. Then another, then another. The column seemed endless. "How many are there?" asked the loader. Carl shrugged. "Enough to keep us busy." The commander's hatch opened slightly. Fresh air flowed into the cramped fighting compartment. The smell of fuel mixed with sweat and hot machinery. Every crew member felt confident. The Panther was one of Germany's finest armored vehicles. Its frontal armor could shrug off many enemy rounds. Its gun was feared across Europe. And now, Normandy had become a hunter's paradise. The Allies had landed only a week earlier. Every road seemed crowded with vehicles. Every field contained fresh targets. For experienced German tank crews, it felt like opportunity. Karl's radio crackled. A calm voice came through. "Wait until they enter the kill zone." He acknowledged. The Panther remained motionless. Nearby, other German tanks and anti-tank guns sat hidden among trees and hedges. The trap was ready. The Americans had no idea. Minutes passed. The lead Shermans continued forward. The road curved gently between two high hedgerows. Perfect. Carl could almost predict where each tank would appear. One by one. Exactly where the German commanders wanted them. Then the order arrived. "Fire!" The gunner squeezed the trigger. The Panther lurched violently. A flash erupted from the barrel. The shell crossed the field in an instant. The lead Sherman exploded. Flames burst through its turret. Black smoke climbed into the sky. Before the Americans could react, more German guns opened fire. Another Sherman erupted, then another. The narrow road became chaos. Crewmen scrambled from burning vehicles. Machine guns hammered the surrounding fields. Explosions echoed across the countryside. For the German crews, it felt almost effortless. Target after target. Hit after hit. Years of training combined with superior positions and powerful weapons. The results seemed inevitable. Carl's gunner laughed after destroying another Sherman. "5," the loader grinned. "Make it 6." A second later, another American tank burned. The battlefield became a graveyard of twisted steel. To the German crews, the lesson appeared obvious. The Sherman was inferior. American armor was overrated. Victory belonged to better machines. By midday, dozens of Allied vehicles had been knocked out across the area. Reports spread rapidly through German formations. Tank commanders exchanged stories over the radio. Some numbers grew larger with each retelling. Entire columns destroyed, roads blocked with wreckage. American advances halted. Morale rose. For soldiers exhausted by years of war, these victories felt important. Proof that German engineering still ruled the battlefield. Proof that quality defeated quantity. Karl shared the same belief. That evening, as mechanics surfaced the Panther, he sat beside the tank and smoked a cigarette. The sky glowed orange above Normandy. Artillery thundered in the distance. Somewhere beyond the horizon, thousands of Allied soldiers were still landing from ships. But Karl did not think much about that. His attention remained fixed on the battlefield he had seen. Burning Shermans, destroyed columns, American losses. The evidence seemed undeniable. The Americans could build all the tanks they wanted. If each one was destroyed by a single well-placed shot, what difference did production make? A tank battle was decided by armor, by guns, by crews, not by factories thousands of miles away. Or so Karl believed. As darkness settled over Normandy, he finished his cigarette and climbed back into the Panther. The crew prepared for another day, another ambush, another chance to destroy more Shermans. None of them realized they were already fighting an enemy much larger than the tanks in front of them. An enemy that could not be seen through a gun sight. An enemy that existed in shipyards, steel mills, rail networks, oil refineries, and factories spread across an entire continent. And while German crews counted tanks destroyed, that invisible enemy was already building their replacements. Faster than anyone in the Panther crew could imagine,